Good evening, everyone. Syntax, led by global experts, offers the center teacher community insights into classroom practices and professional growth. Register for these sessions and actively participate by sharing your thoughts, joining polls, asking questions, and giving feedbacks to help us improve them. Good evening. On behalf of Center, we are delighted you will join us today in Center's webinar series for teachers. Today we have a session on the topic Gen Z teachers and parents navigating change together. We are excited to announce that today's facilitator is Sir Dr. Mukti Pande. Welcome, Dr. Mukti ma'am. Dr. Mukti Pande is a seasoned educator with a PhD in physics and more than 30 years of experience in both teaching and administration. She is currently the principal of Gyandeep School in Varanasi and has previously served as the senior wing coordinator and school administrator in DPS Varanasi. Throughout her career, Dr. Pandey has contributed significantly to conducting board examinations, developing curricula, and organizing workshops on leadership, classroom management, and student counseling. She has led numerous professional development initiatives, authored a book, and published research on liquid crystals. Dr. Pandey has played a key role in mentoring students towards academic excellence, providing career counseling, and introducing innovative teaching practices. Welcome again to our esteemed facilitator. Over to you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for introducing me. And welcome to today's session. I'm sure the session is going to really benefit each one of us. And this is a very, very important and issue which is there in our society nowadays. We are dealing with Gen Z, that is Generation Z. So let's start with the session. And before that, it is very important to bring ourselves into the present moment. So I will just ask everybody to sit and just be mindful with this bell. Can we rub our hands and just put on our eyes so that we can be there in the present moment? And let us start with the today's session. All right. So when we say Gen Z, what is Gen Z? I start with one of the conversation which generally we hear in our homes. I cannot live without my laptop because I am enrolled in a virtual school and I have to use it. I'm sure it's a very, very common language that our children are nowadays speak at home as well as in school. So for you as an audience or as a parent or as an educator, what is Gen Z? Anybody can write their answers on the chat so that we can see. And if you, sir, you can help me out reading out the chats. Anybody? What is Gen Z? It's a very, very, like this. And children often say that we belong to Gen Z generation. What do we mean by that? Are they something different? Yes? Help me, sir, reading out the chat. Okay, I think I'll have to take that initiative of starting. So
no worries. So there are responses like children who are born between like 1900 to 2000, and also like
Okay.
90s and early to 2010. They have given some responses we have
Okay.
seen. Um,
Okay. So, okay,
Generation
fine.
2010.
Yes, I think I'm getting the answers that it is the generation which actually lies between somewhere late 1990s and the early 2010s. They all are categorized into the Gen Z. And the full form for the Gen Z is Generation Z. And we have started calling Z as Z, so that is why it's called as Gen Z. And they feel very proud being called as Gen Z nowadays. If you call them, okay, fine, your generation is different, they say, no, we belong to Gen Z. So let's proceed with that, with the presentation. So let us understand who is Gen Z. Important, very very important is that if we talk about who is Gen Z, we see that they belong to something who are very different in the sense that they feel that they have a very diversified generation, who are coming, with lot of inclusivity, and there is a lot of ethical things that are present in the Gen Z. They're highly techno savvy, because of course they have taken birth in a era which is a very very technological driven era, and they are growing up with so many gadgets. I mean, you talk about tabs, you talk about smartphones, AIs, chatbot, chat GPT, everything which is access one click, and all the information is access to them. Very important is that this generation is very very socially conscious. When I use this word socially conscious, is they're highly aware of global issues like climate change, mental health, and social justice. When I use these words, I really mean it. You talk to any Gen Z or any child of this era, they will give you such good ideas, and they're so open to the discussion. If you talk to them about the climate, like we were, in our days, when we talk about that Diwali is a celebration of crackers and lights, and now if you talk to most of these children, they say pollution create hota hai. There's a lot of pollution. So they are more conscious about what is happening and what is good and what is bad. So it is one way or the other good, but the important thing is that if it is bad, can we make them understand that yes, there is something good lying in it. So let's see, go to the next slide. What are the characteristics of the Gen Z? So when I use this characteristic, as I've already told, that of course they are very socially conscious, and when I use this, they are adaptable, as they get accustomed to many innovations, and they are like ready for any kind of a change, because they feel that change is constant and change is always good. And if you are changing, means you are developing, you are having a growth mindset. So they're always looking for some kind of a thing where there's a lot of growth being seen, and not only in terms of finances, but also in terms of their mental growth and in terms of their social growth. And therefore, just not only the conventional career paths which were long back taken up by the generations before this, now they have started taking the career paths which are very unconventional. Rather, I will say that we have not even heard of those career paths. So sometimes something different from what is not common. I mean, they will say that, okay, fine, I want to get into some course, and we will be zapped to know, okay, what are you going to do in that? But they have something at the back of the mind, a very full structured plan, and they think that yes, if we get into this career path, we are going to, and the confidence that they have is really commendable. They are aware and are forever ready to learn new experiences over the traditional method. And when I use this term that they are ready to learn, is that they're not close-minded. They are open-minded. They are actually, not thinking that we know everything. Every moment they would like to learn from everything, whatever see. And of course, they also feel that what can be the new methods or new experiences that they can see over the traditional methods that are continuously we are incorporating. So they would like to, learn the new experiences over those traditional methods which are coming from so many generations back. So these are the main characteristics of the Gen Z. Apart from them, they are very, very receptive also. They are open for discussions. They are confident. So these characteristics really make this generation very different from the previous generations. And I am really very happy at times when I discuss such things with the children of this age or children of this era, and I really get to know many new things from them. And I say, yes, I am fortunate enough to be here in on the earth and meeting such generation Gen Z children. So this is actually, we are really fortunate, and there's a lot of learning to be taken from them. But of course, again, the coin is always two sides. So let's come. Okay. I have a poll question that as a parent, now this was very good thing that I was talking till now. So what, as a parent or as an educator, do you sometimes face problem in dealing with Gen Z? I'm sure yes or no could be the answer. Can we have the polling, sir?
Thank you. 100% yes.
Oh, so I mean, everybody is facing, and this is what is troubling each one of us. This is what, in spite of everything that we know that these children are different, this generation is altogether different, but still, we are still, as parent, as educators, someday feel that yes, there are certain problems when we are dealing to these Gen Z. There's another one more poll, and then we'll of course come to the solution part of it. Let's see the second poll. The second poll says that should Gen Z need a new approach to education and parenting due to social media and digital tech? Again, they can be a yes, or they can be no, or they can be, people may say that it is both times yes or sometimes no. Yeah.
For this also,
I'm
you got
sure.
100%.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So that means yes, very good. I mean, that means we are on the right track. That means you, as an educator, or you may be a parent also, we are very much on the right track. That yes, our education and our parenting really need to have a new approach for dealing these Gen Z children. Yes, it has to be. Otherwise, it will be a very tough time if we don't change ourselves, if we don't get into their shoes, if we don't concentrate and, think and talk to them to in terms of their language. I'm sure the things will really not be very good for us as a family, as a school. So we will have to really ponder on that, how can we do that. So you'll have to share one this. Everybody is agreed that there are so many challenges that we are facing. So there are, of course, challenges. I am sharing a Padlet link with you. So can you just share it in the chat box? And we will see that what are the answers that, of course, we get it in this. By the time you'll be writing, I just wanted to say that the challenges of change are many, because at the moment in the previous two slides when you were polling, you said yes, you face certain problems. Now what kind of a problems and what kind of the challenges of this change is being faced by the children also? So let's have that. Gen Z is facing what kind of challenges of change? Because the world is really growing fast. There has been a lot of things going around. There are so many new things coming up, new technologies coming up. So can we have few of the answers on the Padlet? Yeah. Yes, sir. Sir, any answers? I'm sure there must be many answers because everybody knows that what kind of a challenges our Gen Z is also facing. And the topic that we're really talking about is, it is a very, very sensitive topic. And if we really ponder upon, and if we think and reflect, and we put ourselves in their shoes and understand their mindset, we will definitely be understanding that yes, there are lot many things, those this generation is also facing. And we have to, kind of certain change ourselves so that, both the generations can gel together and both can be on a very good, like, this. Yes, sir. Can we have the padlet? So so there are the changes. I'm sure most of you must be writing that they feel very stressed. Is the answer
Yeah.
stress, sir?
Yeah. Ma'am, there are things like generation gap and also like mental health struggles, social and emotional challenges, and also like high level of competition, peer group pressure. So
Very
there is
true.
things related to digital technologies and new technology, and also the new atmosphere that we are facing, adaptation to that. These are all
Great.
few.
Great. I mean, great that yes, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of competitive pressure. If you see our children in this, generation are facing the pressure that we can never ever, think of, like, dealing. We cannot deal with that pressure. The kind of an anxiety and the stress our children are facing at this point of time is again very, very high. The mental health, is actually a major cause. And of course, we all know that when we talk about the education system, everywhere, all educationists, all boards are talking about the mental wellness of the child. And it is just because that this mental health is actually creating a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. It is creating a lot of pressure. So because, and not only, pressure, not only academics, but also to excel in academics. And of course, once they excel in academics, then the new pressure starts, and that is about the job prospects. Then there's a, once the job prospects are over, then of course they get into a, family life. Then there is a work and a life balance which goes on. So everything, if you talk about that, this generation is facing what of course the generations, previous generation might not have, felt. Because nowadays the generations that we're talking about, there is no discrimination between a boy and a girl. Of course, all there is a gender, I mean, there is no gender discrimination. All are equal. So the boy and the girl, they are actually on the same platform. And of course, when this happens, then it becomes more difficult for our families to, balance work life. This also, they at times face a lot of challenge, which are evolving around the family structures. And also, as fast as feel that since digitalization has got a lot of positive impact on the human being, positive impact on everything, but somewhere, it has also lead to the feeling of isolation. There has been a lot of isolation that I can really see in this generation children, just, scrolling through their phones, smartphones. They don't want to talk. They want their own space. They want to sit in their room, feeling isolated, many times went into depression, because there's just nobody with whom they can share the feeling, because we have not in fact, trained our children in such a manner that they share their own problems, their shortcomings, their challenges, because somewhere we have also shut our doors to listen to them. So this is again a big question which has to be, catered, and which has to be thought from our perspective, are we doing, are we listening to them? Let's go to the next slide with this. So when I say that the most important role comes for this generation is, of course, parents. Yes, they are the foremost. And I will equally give the weightage to the teachers also, because they are the ones who can navigate, we too can navigate a change in the Gen Z. This is the most important. I'm again dealing that what is the role of parent and teachers in dealing with this Gen Z. This is the most crucial question. Why it is crucial? Because we don't know what to do, because we are so preoccupied in our own selves that we do not have. But yes, we will have to think that how can we really, we together, or as a parent or as an educator or as a community, how can we bring a change, how can we navigate a change together and listen and bring a change again in the Gen Z. I would like to have just one thought or one word from everybody on the chat box, because I don't want that this session should be only and only monologue. I would like to listen really a lot of thoughts from you guys also, so that it is a mutual exchange of ideas and sharing. So can we have just one word by our dear audience to give their thought? And you can just write on the chat, because or in the previous padlet also, anything, anywhere you can write it down. And of course, Jack can help me out in reading out the of course the thoughts. I'm sure that I'm sure that everybody must be buzzing with many words. So quickly, I think that yes, can we have few? Jay, can we have few, so that others get also motivated? They've started writing, and then that triggers the mind of
So
the other person.
we are getting responses like spending quality time, follow up, and be kind, understanding, giving time, and also patience. Children got changed through social media with their behavior. All those things are coming. Listening to them, empathetic towards them. Like simply talk to the kids.
Great, great, great,
Continuous
great.
learning is also another comment from me.
Great, great. Thank you for your really, very thoughtful answers. Very, very thoughtful answers. Thank you, audience. And you are absolutely right. The to effectively support this generation, parents and teachers will have to foster the open communication. This is the most important thing, and open communication is the most and the most important thing that I am asking all of you and requesting everybody that please have a very open communication. It will not start in one day. It will really not start. You will have to really create a confidence, a connect, a kind of a relationship with the person. Then only the child is going to open up and tell his or her challenges. Encourage their creativity. At many times we have seen that children do something and we don't say it's okay, fine, yeah, it's good. You need to just see that very nicely, that what kind of a creativity, what is the child doing, and he must have come to you with a lot of hope that yes, I'll go to the teacher and a parent, and my creativity is going to be really it's going to be appreciated. It is going to be told to others, and maybe that there may be something which there are, of course, all creativities maybe they may not be, and you will have certain ideas also to correct them. So there's another way, that yes, these are the strength in this your creativity, and of course these are your something here you can improve upon. And of course, so this is again creativity. Encourage their creativity, provide personalized learning experiences, and while doing, please ensure that you are also prioritizing their mental health and their well-being. You have to understand, we have to understand that whatever we are providing the learning experiences, are we keeping their mental health and well-being very good? This is again our task. Essentially, I will be, talking to the parents, and just a piece of advice to the parents. I myself, I am also a parent. So for us, an advice is parents should take a more active role in the children's learning process. It is important. And when I say in children's learning process, at times I have been also listening from the parents, the child is now grown up, what do I do, I don't know anything about. No, this is not the answer. We can always say that yes, I may not be very fully expert in his or her area, but yes, I can always listen and understand and try to understand that yes, what the child wants to say. So parents should take out more time in the child's learning process. This will definitely be enhancing the educational outcomes. This is going to definitely boost the performance of the child. It's going to ensure that the foundational principles of learning are firmly being established during all the developmental stage. When I say all the developmental stage, we start right from the day the child is has taken a birth. So you have to ensure that at every developmental stage you are with the learning process of the child and enhancing the educational outcomes, ensuring that how can you boost the performance without letting the child go down, ensuring that the foundational principle of learning are established. So this is very, very important. And thank you for such a lovely this. We have to be empathetic, very true. We have to be very, very empathetic to the child. These child are the most fragile. If you really talk to me, with my experience, I have been talking to n number of children, and when I talk to these children and you talk and make a relation with these children, you will find the most fragile generation is this generation. We have to really keep in mind that this generation doesn't break because of their fragileness. So we have to see that how we talk to them. Let's go to the next slide. So very important again, there has been very many thoughts on embracing a lifelong learners, and the best way to deal with challenges of Gen Z is that, of course, we have discussed open to the ideas, develop tech skills to adapt the digital learning environment, build emotional resilience, enhance communication skills, cultivating adaptability. Many a times I speak to their parents, they said, "I ma'am, मेरे को तो बिल्कुल भी ये सब tech savvy नहीं हूँ मैं, मुझे कुछ भी कंप्यूटर के बारे में नहीं आता है, मेरे को समझ नहीं आता, ये कुछ बोलता रहता है." So there it is somewhere very depressing, very disappointment for the child. The child has come up with a lot of hope to tell what all he knows, and we simply say that yes, I am not. Even if you are not knowing anything, just listen to the child, give ears to the child, and understand what he wants to say. You should be open to any idea. I would like to have a very drawing room conversation with the Gen Z, because once you make these children, a part of your discussion, you are really building a strong relationship, just not only at home and also in the school, by giving them a voice and choice. Open to the new ideas. Tell them, yes, what could be the new idea that you want to do and handle this problem. So these few of the this is a lifelong learning lessons for us as an educator and as parents, to deal with the challenges that we are facing with this generation Z. Building a collaborative community. When I come to this, create a strong parent-teacher partnership, be a guide and mentor, make them aware of digital safety, give them a listening ear. So to build a collaborative community with Gen Z, we need to, of course, we've spoken about your open communication, we have talked about the flexible arrangement, technology integrations, we creating a supportive and an inclusive environment of learning, where their uniqueness, yeah, and their unique perspectives are valued and encouraged. It is important. Why? Because then only a connect and a strong bond is going to be. Many a times, it's not intentionally we do. At times, it happens in Indian families. Generally, I've seen that we say child comes up with something and speaks. Yeah, I want to give my idea. We have a habit of saying, "Oh, you are very chota abhi tum bahut chote ho. There is no need to give." So there somewhere we are just putting a barrier in front of the child, and somewhere when there will be a time for the child to give the ideas and the suggestion, maybe that kind of a confidence he will not be able to build, because he may have developed that point. If I give an idea, maybe that it is not acceptable, or maybe I'm being stopped. So I request all the audience, as teachers, as parents, as educators, as administrators, that listen to them. Maybe their perspectives, because their perspectives are definitely different from what our perspectives are. And for individual, I'm sure that whatever audience we have today here in this webinar will have a different perspective for different things. So let us value their perspectives, and let's encourage them, and ensure that we build a strong bond and a connect to them. Now, believe in all this, student. Again, this was regarding the home. When we talk about this school scenario. Yes, I am indeed very fortunate enough that the educational institutions have started they really taking a lead in changing the entire scenario of the schools also. And big round of applause and big shout out to all the educationists, the administrators, the school principals, the teachers, everybody who have really started inculcating in their own school environment about the belief system, and believe in all the students. When I say that, here we talk about that there has to be an equal access to the education, and must ensure that whether she's a girl or a boy, or some from different race, or he or she is disabled, or he's from a different economic background, or whatever. So the most important thing is that we need to foster the belief in the Gen Z, focus on the authenticity, focus on building community, focus on prioritizing the diversity. This is what school has to do. And demonstrating accountability. Let's show that you are accountable. Let's bring them their accountability. Tell them that you are accountable for this. The more you make them, the more responsible, the more connect, the more good decision makers they will be in future. So you have to demonstrate accountability while acknowledging their pragmatic and financially minded nature, and the desire for flexibility and a purpose. Understand that why they are saying what is their purpose. Then what is there at the back of the mind which is making the child make me do this. So understanding that once you make them accountable, okay, fine, you are accountable for this process. Go ahead, we are supporting you. You see, there will be a good lot of a difference that you will find in this generation. So as educators and parents, let us all start believing our children, our students, and make them accountable, make them responsible, give them responsibility to roles they are into it. When I come to there, cultivate the emotional intelligence. This is, I am telling you, is a big problem that we are facing. They are actually so stressed. There's a lot of stress, anxiety, and they are so much hyper at the moment that yes, we need to cultivate as parents, school. It is a responsibility of the entire all stakeholders or the entire society to ensure that we start cultivating the emotional intelligence, not when they grow up, when they become adults, I am talking about adults, means what, teens and when they become adults. But we need to see that we are just inculcating this right again from the very, very, lower state, that is maybe from, classes, may not even the classes, 3 4 years. Emotional, intelligence, of course you have to say, because child is there, but at that point of time we start pampering. So understand that how can we make a balance between this. So for this, I think we should need to have a lot of mindful sessions, and many of the schools have really started doing this. They are doing it. There's a lot of stress management sessions which are the schools are taking. There are a lot of empathy building sessions also which schools are taking up. So again, I will be requesting each school authorities, each parent also, that we need to work on the emotional, as I have already say, and I would like to reiterate once again, that they are the most fragile generation. They are very, very fragile. They immediately break down. So in order to make their emotional EQ, if I'll say, strong, we have to see how can we do that. So of course, let's foster the emotional resilience in the Gen Z. Encourage the self-awareness. Let's teach them how to cope the skills, how to cope the challenges, build some strong social connections, promote a growth mindset in them. We emphasize the importance of learning from challenges and maintaining a positive outlook. I mean, every time let us not understand that it is at the end of the day, it is the result which is going to matter. It is the most important, the process which is being involved. So let's emphasize the importance of learning from the challenges that they are actually facing, and how can they look this challenge in a very positive outlook. So again, this is a very, very important thing that we have to again see. As a community, again, as community plays a very important role to build the trust and create strong bonds. For Gen Z, community plays a vital role, particularly in the digital era. When we are talking about providing a sense of belongingness, shared experiences, and a space for self-expression and social validation. I mean, generally, we have really seen that instead of using a kind of a positive language, it tend to use some kind of a negative one. No, you cannot do, so don't do this. Try to cultivate, even if you know that the child may not be able to live up to the expectation to what you are feeling. You have to understand that you have to speak in a very positive language, so that you are building a collaboration and a trust with this Gen Z, with this generation. We have to be very patient enough. We have to be very empathetic to them, as already the audience have said. And of course, again, the important thing is that we have to have listening skills in ourselves. It is very unfortunate that we would like others that they should listen to us, but when it really comes to us, we avoid them. We don't want to listen them. So what I feel is that let's have a space for self expression. Let's often tell them to have their choices and behaviors, and let's see that what is happening. At times their choices may not be what you expected, their behaviors may not be but let them explore. The more they explore, the more they experience, the more learning takes place, the more they learn with those experiences. So again, community is playing a very, very important role to bring the trust and the create a strong bond for Gen Z. We have to also, Gen Z has come to an age in a time of unprecedented social and environmental challenges. Of course, there has been a lot of changes. There's a lot of problems in the society, in the environment. There's a lot of change in the environment, such as a climate change, social inequality. You talk about the human right abuses. So these issues have really shaped. These issues have shaped their values and prioritizes with the social and emotional issues being among their top concerns. Now, their top concerns, when you talk to them, they will take up, oh, social, talk about the climate change, you talk about the social inequality, you talk about the human right abuses. They will have n number of, things to discuss with you, because they have taken, they are born in this complete social and unprecedented social and environmental challenges. So they have seen this only. So they actually, they value and they prioritize this social and environmental issues, and they are the topmost concern for these Gen Z. Gen Z also prioritizes the social responsibilities. They also they have come in an age where, where the things, what where what we keep on telling in our days this was happening, but they haven't seen it. So, there has been a lot of change in from that generation to this generation, and it is start comparing, हमारे टाइम में ये हुआ करता था और अब हमारे इस टाइम में ये हो रहा है. They haven't seen that time. They will not be able to correlate that what we have undergone. But yes, we are into an era, fortunate enough that this generation, and we have seen the previous generation, we can be a bridge between these two and understand that yes, it was like this in our generation, but because of certain things which have come up, because of the issues, because of the changes that are taking place, that our Gen Z is taking this factor in this manner. So, somewhere when we are understanding their point of view, you will understand that yes, this is not their fault. It is the fault because they haven't seen what we want to tell them. And nobody can understand till you don't experience, you don't generally understand that yes, this is right or that's wrong. So they have Gen Z has actually they're very much into promoting the social responsibility, right? So then we have strengthened resilience. When I say strengthening resilience means we have to focus on fostering a sense of connection, promoting, I have already said, open communication. This is the most important thing, which I am not now going to say, is the healthy habits. We, each one of us are nowadays, are actually facing this problem in our homes, in our schools, and somewhere, this eating habits have really changed. There has been a drastic change, and because of this only, there's been a drastic change in the thought process. There's a drastic change in somewhere I feel that in our, in our body also, physiological, if you talk about. Also, teaching, we have to teach them how they have to be, how they can set the goal. How can they, goal setting is important for them. Why goal setting? Because at the moment they see a very short term, they don't see a long term goal. So the importance setting and or telling them the importance of goal setting is again one thing. And tell them that yes, digital is important, but along with that, digital well-being is also important. Focus on fostering thing which can reinforce a positive impact on them. Tell them about that they are the problem solvers of their own problems. Navigating the setbacks confidently, because I have already been saying that this is a generation of highly breakdown generation. We will have to together strengthen the resilience power, telling them that, teaching them that with the failures, with the shortcomings, with the challenges, with any kind of a setbacks, you have to rebound, and you have to again, come back to the normal in order to again lead a very healthy life. Foster creativity and innovation. When I say foster creativity, then we have to, of course, encourage creativity through arts, innovation, projects, and hands-on learning. Again, embracing digital tools, AIs, uh, telling them the emphasizing the importance of purpose driven work, and a culture of continuous learning is again very very important. So for us also, I think as elders also, we have to ensure that we embrace the digital tools and AIs, right? Encourage the cultural awareness and diversity. When I say this is again, now initially I very well remember in our times, when I see in our times we were just confined to our own, kind of culture in our own system. But this is a time where you have there the children, the Gen Z, it wants to explore the entire rich cultural heritage. For example, if I say that a child from south may would like to come and understand the rich cultural heritage of maybe UP, and how it can be done. You cannot every time go to different state and all this. It can be done through stories, it can be done through art, music and food, and making these elements relatable and engaging for Gen Z. It is very good, and it's very nice that of course our NCF and NP this time is now collaborating things, quite many things together. And of course, just not only the local traditions, but I'm sure that if we encourage the culture awareness and diversity, the global perspective will also change. The children will be introduced to diverse culture and the perspectives. We can do it through documentaries, through films, through music. You want to have some global perspective of any country, so you can have it online platforms for the discussions. We can provide them we can foster a sense of global citizenship in the child. It's not only just going from one place to another. It is all together to be done by us. And of course, our children, this generation, of course, the generation which are grown-ups, which are of course 10, 12, 13, 14 years now, they feel that yes, through the digital they can really explore and they can see the entire globe now. So that is again one of the very positive impact which we were not having in our times. These children carry very well there. So what I wanted to say is that we will have to encourage. We cannot ask them, oh, why are you so bothered about any other culture? We have to tell them, because they want to know, they have been brought up into such such era where this entire social system is now trying to become one. All things are getting all things are getting one. So there is a unity in diversity, I would say. So that is what they wanted to explore. Gen Z safety understanding policies. We have to, of course, at times, this is again important, this is for us, that establish a very clear guidelines for a respectful interaction and actively moderate discussion to maintain a positive tone. This is our part again. So we have to establish the guidelines. We cannot say just yes, yes, yes for everything. Encourage an open dialogue about policies and safety concern, fostering a culture where students feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and questions. Clearly outline the consequences of violating policies, ensuring fairness and consistency in environment. Why I'm saying again this, again I would like to tell that yes, this is important. Why? Because at times we feel that let's be relaxed. No, we have to set a very clear consequences that yes, if you do this, this is the consequence. If you do this, this is the consequence. If you did do this, this will be your appreciation part. So things should be very well defined to them. Offer counseling and academic advising and peer mentoring services, as well as resources for mental health and well-being. Cater to individual interests and academic goals, providing flexibility and autonomy in learning experiences. Again, this is very, very important. So what? Safety, understanding the policies, again, very important. We have to set a clear guidelines for these children, for this generation, to understand. And once they understand, again, the mental health well-being, they won't feel left out. They know that yes, this is the consequence for this. So you have to establish really clear guidelines for this, for them. I have few questions here. Of course, a lot of talking has taken place. So I have a question here. Here are some questions which you can see on my screen, that the Gen Z dilemma. So the questions are: do Gen Z struggle with face-to-face communication due to excessive screen time? Is Gen Z more likely to experience anxiety and depression than previous generations? Does social media negatively impact Gen Z self-esteem? Does Gen Z value mental health more than the previous generation? We can just first come to the first question and quickly, say yes or no, or in the chat box. I would be great if Jack can really help me out in this.
We are getting continuous yes as reply. We're getting only yes as a reply.
Great. Is Gen Z likely to experience anxiety and depression than the previous one?
First question we are getting yes, of course.
Of course, yes. Can you give me one reason why? Yes.
For the
Can
second
you
one
give me
also
one
we're getting
reason?
yes. We'll be getting it. Social media.
Yes. Social, yes.
Because they're overthinking. So we're getting replaced like pressure, social media, webinar, sorry. So like they're overthinking. These are the responses we got for the questions.
Call कर लीजिए नवीन को.
Societal emotional stress.
Correct.
Also, they're smart and sensitive. Like there is a response that more virtual relationship than real.
Correct.
real.
More relations. Exactly. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for such a this.
Also, we are getting replaced like not socially active. They are so pampered.
Correct. Correct. We were not socially so active. Of course, we were not being pampered so much. Correct. Can we come to the third question then, Jay? Does social media negatively impact Gen Z's self-esteem? And if yes, can I have one or two reasons for that?
Think with them. We're getting replies like yes, definitely. So some are giving replies as no.
Okay. Great.
So things we are getting the response like face-to-face communication, dilemma of real and real.
So
Extreme
check the message.
issues like that. We're getting.
Check the message.
Habits. So there are responses like more virtual rather than real world people are there. So
So I think that those who said that does the social media negatively impact Gen Z's self-esteem? If I can really have one reason of why not, yeah, Jay, can you just tell me?
yeah. So this is like sometimes We are getting replies like sometimes it explores the thing that they really don't need, lack of interaction with parents.
Yes. Yes, correct, correct. I think very true. Sometimes, it is they do it. The Gen Zs, the impact of the social media is not negative on the Gen Z self-esteem, because sometimes as parents we are not able to give that quality time to the children. So they have their own world in that. So their self-esteem, instead of a parent or a family building, is being built by them. So at times, yes, social media, it is true that it does not negatively impact the self-esteem, rather boost the others. So it can have a mixed answer. At some places, yes, at some places, no. The last question is, does Gen Z value mental health more than the previous generation? Or we were like, our generation or the generation back were much more, valued the mental health as compared to today's generation? Yeah.
We're getting responses like yes, also like literally being their friends. Social is more important. So Gen Z have less patience than previous generations was another comment from
Hmm.
our viewers.
Yes.
We're getting
Yes.
most of the yes or no.
Most, yes. I'm sure mostly here we are going to yes. So does Gen Z value mental? Yes, it does. And why it does is, you can very well see most of the children of this generation, they are actually what is happening after even pursuing a very very high degrees. If they don't have the mental peace, they are exploring that, leaving everything, because for them mental health is much more precious than anything else. Which probably, and it could be one of the reasons also, because in this era there's a lot of stress, anxiety, pressure, competitiveness, everything is there. Therefore the value of the mental health is much more in this generation as compared to the another generation. I am giving you, I mean, of course, we must be having the audiences, just not from India, of course, from outside also. And I am just giving you one case study, though there was a film, most of you have seen it in the Indian scenario, Binny and Family. But since I could not showcase it here because of the copyright, therefore I'm just bringing a case study in front of you. It is Natasha and Family. Kindly go through this. Is only 1 minute of the case study, and then we can come to the questions. And it's a lovely case study because that was a lovely film, and I really wanted to take up the clippings of that film, but because of the copyright, I could not take. So I would suggest, please, audience, see that film. It is actually worth watching. It's Binny and Family. But based on that, I've made one case study. Kindly go through. Yeah. Once you are done, if you can really show your thumbs up on the chat box, we can save time. I want to go a little fast. We are running with the time, and I have. Do you find this case study somewhere related at any moment to your own self? Trust me, I do. Trust me, I do. Because our children need space now. Our children want this space. They want that, okay, fine, everything is all done. I want my own space.
So we're getting the poll results like for the first question. Like we're getting
Yeah.
98% yes and 2% no.
Okay. Is social media a source of conflict between the younger and the older generation? Family members, or you may say family members? Can we have the poll?
Yeah, we are getting 100% yes for it.
Wow, great, great. Which value causes the most tension between the generations? I mean, I've given you a lot of things. Is this a tradition? Is the independence? Is the technology? It can be responsibility. I mean, it can be all. But what is the most? What do you feel the most important? Do they want to become more into, kind of this traditionally they don't want to get into all the stuff that we are doing it, or it's the technology that is taking a edge over other things, or it is the responsibility that they don't want to take, or it is the interdependence. Which is the major tension between the generations? Which value you feel? I am sure it can be different for different audience. Yes.
Like around 39% says tradition. So
Okay.
like around 22% are with 26% are with independence.
Okay.
Like the between independence and technology, we are getting fluctuations. Almost it's close, like 26,
Almost same.
27.
Okay.
Yeah, and responsibility, there we are getting around 11% of the.
Okay. So, I mean, if I talk about the audience poll, we just say that the most important tension between the generation is the interdependence, independence, and the technology. And the technology. And really, it is true. Tradition फिर भी आप करवा लोगे, responsibility children can take up, but somewhere technology and independence are the two parameters, because they want their independence. They want, let me do whatever I feel on the technology. You need not to say this is the most, tension. This is the most important point that is that is causing a tension in the between the generations today. Do the older family eventually accept the younger generation's way of thinking, or both generation accept each other's way of thinking? What is the best way? What is the best way? Do you think that the older family members will eventually accept the younger generation's way of thinking, or both generation accept each other's way of thinking? What do you feel?
Like we are getting responses like 50% as yes and 50% almost for no.
Okay, so it's a 50-50. So what I feel is that it is basically both the generations will have to accept each other's way of thinking. We will have to see what they are saying, they will have to see what we are saying, but we will have to make them understand why we are doing it, what is there. And of course, this generation will also have to understand that yes, if this is being said, there is definitely some positive outcome of this. You will have to convince by saying that why, because this why is really, it always troubles this generation. If you don't tell them the why, they will never listen to you, they will never agree. They want why, the answer why for it, and we will have to be ready with the answer why for every question they put up. So I think I've come to the last part of my slide, and of course, as this is the end of the session, I would really like to pledge with my folded hands to all the audience that let us build a brighter future by embracing this change and walk hand in hand with this Gen Z. And if we do so, our future, our next generation will definitely be the best one. And it will be, without free from all tensions. Even this generation, what we are talking about, we will have a happy. So it will be a happy go for both the generations. And of course, embracing everything positive is always good. And if it is a change, do embrace. And please, right in the end, I would like to simply say that every generation say wants something and they say something. It is the previous generation which need to understand and come to understand that what they want to say, what they really want, and they have to say. This generation will feel that the next generation is something. So this is a cycle which will go on. How we just bind the cycles together is in our hands. And of course this can only be done by embracing what the change is there and understanding the Gen Z of today. Thank you so very much, and I'm now ready for the questions that can be asked. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mukti Pande, for your very engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. I'm sure that our community of teachers have taken a lot of takeaways from this session. So let me check if
Thank
there are
you.
any questions from the audience. Like, just a minute.
I would like to really take one or two questions,
Yeah.
definitely, because either you have understood everything is very clear, everything is very clear.
So, what will be our role in guiding students according to their age difference?
Okay. So what will be what should be the role in guiding the children of different age group? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is this the
Yeah.
question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
So
Same.
this is a good question, because yes, because this generation which we are talking about, the range, of course, every if you talk about 4 years, 5 years, 5 years difference, and if you see every age group caters need a different way to cater it. When we talk about the children of maybe a age group from 2 years to 7 years, we need to be again there, more empathy, more of understanding, more of connect, because that is the time when you're building a relationship. So that is the time, that age group, ensure that your relationship with the child is very, very strong. I am talking about first again as a parent. Of course, then you come to the next where you start, you have to arouse that curiosity in the child. And of course, there will be n number of curiosity. How are you channelizing that curiosity among themselves? So again, that age group comes when I talk about, it is generally from 9 years till you maybe 11 years. 9 to 11 years is an age group where a lot of anxiety, lot of curiosity, lot of curiosity, lot of questioning comes up. So that is the point where you have to see how you are catering to everything. It becomes difficult at times to answer every question of the child. Then you come to the time where there is some kind of a understanding already taken place in the child, and now comes when you are actually there, consciousness has already aroused, and it is the time when they are now doing things on self. So you have to start respecting the things that they are doing. And last but not the least, once they go beyond the age of maybe 13 years, when they come into teens, they are of course into a mode where they have to, they know that now they are the decision makers. So you are making a decision makers at that point of respect their decisions, respect their ideas, respect their creativity, respect their innovations. You never know what is going to be. So for every age group, you have to deal in a different manner. So initially starting from building a relationship, arousing a curiosity, and then thinking about making them understand about like their creativity and then their ideas. Let them explore first of all and then respect what they actually want to do. I hope I was able to answer your question. If in case you still have, you may just ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So, like if you have registered and filled out the feedback for this session, check your participation record in the app in the Mind Learning section. I will guide you through the instructions. Step 1, open the Center app on your device. Step 2, navigate to the ongoing webinar section. Click on Submit Feedback. Please note that this option will be available at 6 p.m. IST. At the end of the session, we will share you a 4-digit code required for feedbacks. Enter this code to access the feedback form. The code for today is 6604. So complete the feedback form and you'll be able to download your record of participation instantly. This new process was introduced to streamline your experience and ensure your participation is instantly recognized. Thank you all. Thank you so much for all participants for engaging with us today. To register for more such webinars, please visit the center. Good night.